Hello, it's Moby the Yarny, and I just realized that part of Crochet 101 video number 3, the end of it got cut off somehow, and it was ending with where we did the front post and back post doubles, and I was going in to show you the joins. So I'm going to show you the joins now, and here's where we ended with we did the trebles and the front post and back post doubles. So I did the thumbnail join, which I showed on camera. I'm going to, hopefully it'll work again. I always have troubles with this, but I'm going to show it to you again. I'll use a different yarn this time. Alright, so we're going to use this join if you need to add on a new ball. Say the yarn you're using runs out, and even if you have to use the same color, or maybe you need a new color. You want to add a new color to what you're doing, and you don't want a big knot. And so you would pinch the two colors between your thumb and your index finger. Let me get over here where you can see it really well. Okay, and say the purple is going to be the new color I'm using, the light purple. Let me get it over here. Okay, so we're going to pinch these together, leave a good tail here. We're going to wrap it around my thumb once and around the yarns. Make sure it's around those two yarns. Wrap it again, but make sure this wrap is in front of the other wrap and behind those tails. And this time we're going to bring it in between there. Make sure it's tight in there too. And then we're going to tuck these two underneath the thumb. Make sure we get both ends in there really good. I don't use this join very often because it feels like it takes too long for me. And I'd rather use either a magic knot or something else. Okay, and then this determines if it works or not. You got to pull it and hold it really tight while you pull. Keep pulling. Okay, and then there's your join. Then you can always trim off the excess right there, but that's a thumbnail join. I don't use it too often, but it is a good way to do it. And I'm going to show you what's called a Russian join. Okay, and this one is if you don't want a knot at all. So you'll have two different yarns here. I'm going to show so you can see, and I've put a needle on both. You want a tapestry needle, the smallest of the needles you can find. Usually when I'm putting my ends in with a fat yarn, I'll use this big of a needle, but for this purpose I want a smaller needle. So what I'm going to do, I already have mine threaded. I'm going to make a little loop here, and I'm going to go back up through my yarn right here, and I'm going to thread it right back up through that yarn. A good 2 or 3 inches is what you want to do. Keep it straight in that center because the yarn will want to come apart. Go up, it'll bunch up, but that's okay. So when you get a good 2 or 3 inches, then you're going to pull your needle through. But what I like to do is put a hook right here because you need to leave a little loop in one. I know other people do it a different way, but I like to do it this way. Give it a good tug and bring it through there. Just need to get that other end through. Okay. I can leave it like this for right now. And just pull that hook out. Now we're going to loop this thread this yarn through that loop that we made. And now we're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to go through and do the same thing on this with this yarn. I'm going to go right back up the center of this yarn with this needle. Good 2 or 3 inches would be good. And then you're going to bring that out just like the other one. And bring that piece through. Okay, now we can take these needles off. Now we can straighten these out and pull those real tight. And then you have a nice join right there without a knot. And it looks really smooth. But it is quite a bit of work. But I was thinking about doing this with, I don't know if you've ever seen people make those giant balls of different colored yarns. They make with their scrap yarns and then make a scrap afghan with them. I wanted to make one, but I didn't want 10 million knots in my scrap gan. So I was thinking about, you know, just once in a while hooking my scrap yarn together with those kind of knots. You know, it might be something I'll do every once in a while, just hook them together, but it might be worth it for not having a knot. And there you have your little your yarn joined without a bunch of knots, and then you can just cut off your excess little piece here that sticks out. Just make sure you don't cut your working yarn instead, because then you'd have to do it all over again, which I did that once. Alright, so that's another way you can join. There's also called a surgeon's join, which it's very similar to just tying a knot, but I'm not going to go over that. But thank you for joining me again. If you're new, thank you for stopping by, and I'm sorry this part got cut off, but hopefully you'll join me in part 4. We'll go over doing a few new stitches, like I want to show you the moss stitch and go over a granny stitch, which would be working in a round and just working single and double and around, so you can learn how to make hats or baskets, things you would want to work in a circle and getting your best work done in a circle. I can show you something I just finished in a circle, which something I'm working on right now, which are these granny squares here that I'm making a bucket hat out of. But you work them in a circle. I don't have my ends, they're not in yet, so you can see where all my ends are right here. It'll look better once they're, I think I might have one with the ends in. Let me see. Yeah, the middle of this one. I have the blue and the orange are in, but I didn't put the yellow in yet. But you can see it's a daisy, I mean a nice flower. And I'm going to put these all together and then put the brim and the round part on the head in. But thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.